Thanks so much for joining us for this week's Sunday School lesson. I am so excited that you are watching today's video. We are going back to talking about the fruits of the Spirit. And today we are talking about peace. So we've talked about love and joy. So next up is peace. And I thought it would be fun to start our lesson today with our Fruit of the Spirit song. I hope you all have been practicing. So if you remember it, follow along with me as we sing our Fruit of the Spirit song. All right. His apple is love, his orange is joy, banana is self-control. His lemon is peace, his kindness a peach, and my life is the bowl. So fill me up, fill me up, fill me up all the way with the fruit of the Spirit, with the fruit of the Spirit. All right, a little faster. His apple is love, his orange is joy, banana is self-control. His lemon is peace, his kindness a peach, and my life is the bowl. So fill me up, fill me up, fill me up all the way with the fruit of the Spirit, with the fruit of the Spirit. All right, a little faster. His apple is love, his orange is joy, banana is self-control. His lemon is peace, his kindness a peach, and my life is the bowl. So fill me up, fill me up, fill me up all the way with the fruit of the Spirit, with the fruit of the Spirit. All right, let's see if we can do it at our fastest speed. Are you all ready? All right, loosen up. Make sure your mouth is ready to go. All right. His apple is love, his orange is joy, banana is self-control. His lemon is peace, his kindness a peach, and my life is the bowl. So fill me up all the way with the fruit of the Spirit, with the fruit of the Spirit. Whew. Oh my goodness. I love that song. I hope you all do too, and you are able to do all of the motions and get all of the words out as we sang through that very fast last verse. So, like I said, today we are talking about peace and how when we have Jesus in our hearts and in our lives, we are filled with peace. Even when things don't go great and sometimes life is a little scary, we can still find peace in Jesus. All right, so to help us with our study of peace today, we are going to read a story from the Bible that comes from the book of Mark, chapter 4. And instead of reading it from the Bible today, I have got a fun story that's got some really great pictures. So we are going to read it in this and then talk about how, these people in our story today get stuck in a storm and they are very scared, and Jesus stops the storm and calms the storm and calms them down. And so we're going to talk about how Jesus can help calm us and give us peace when we are going through some hard times. So story here they've got, it's called The Captain of the Storm. Here we go. So it says, the sun was going down, the air was warm and still. Let's go across the lake, Jesus said to his friends. Jesus had been helping people all day, and now he was tired. So they left the crowds at the shore and set out in a small fishing boat. Jesus climbed into the boat to take a nap. As soon as his head touched the pillow, he fell fast asleep. It was a beautiful evening. A gentle breeze rustled the sails. The friends were chatting happily as they headed out into the middle of the lake. Everything was perfect, just right for a nice, quiet sail. So there's Jesus asleep as they head across the lake. Uh-oh. This picture doesn't look quite as nice. Let's find out what happens. They were only about halfway across when, out of nowhere, whirling winds swept across the lake, fierce and strong like a hurricane. A blinding flash of lightning lit up the sky. Thunder roared right overhead. The storm blew the water into the towering waves that hurled the little boat up, 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 then set it hurling, crashing back down, down, down. The fishing boat was blown and buffeted and tossed and turned back and forth and up and down and left and right and round and round. And in the middle of the storm, Jesus was sleeping. Now, Jesus' friends had been fishermen all their lives, but in all their years fishing on this lake, they had never once seen a storm like this one. No matter how hard they struggled with their ropes and sails, they couldn't control their boat. This storm was too big for them. Here we go. But the storm wasn't too big for Jesus. Help, they screamed. Wake up. Quick, Jesus. Jesus opened his eyes. Rescue us. Save us, they shrieked. Don't you care? Of course Jesus cared, and this was the very reason he had come, to rescue them and save them. Jesus stood up and spoke to the storm. Hush, he said. That's all. And the strangest thing happened. What do you guys think happened? What's that? He's barely hanging on. The wind and the waves recognized Jesus' voice. They had heard it before, of course. It was the same voice that made them in the very beginning. They listened to Jesus and they did what he said. Immediately the wind stopped. The water calmed down. It glittered innocently in the moonlight and lapped quietly against the side of the boat, as if nothing had happened. The little boat bobbed gently up and down. There was a deep stillness and a great quiet all around. Then Jesus turned to his wind-torn friends. Why were you scared? He asked. Did you forget who I am? Did you believe your fears instead of me? Jesus' friends were quiet as the wind and the waves, and into their hearts came a different kind of storm. What kind of man is this? They asked themselves anxiously. Even the winds and the waves obey him, they said, because they didn't understand. They didn't realize yet that Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus' friends had been so afraid they had only seen the big waves. They had forgotten that if Jesus was with them, then they had nothing to be afraid of, no matter how small their boat or how big the storm. All right. I think that story from the Bible is so great because a lot of times we go through a lot of storms in our life. It may not be actual physical storms with wind and rain, but we're going to go through tough times. And with God, we can have a peace going through those hard times. So, I've got a couple questions for us to think about after we've read this story. So, how would you feel if you were a character in the story that we just read and you were on that small boat during a big storm? You know, sometimes life can feel like we're in the middle of a storm, even when it's not raining and the wind is quiet outside. I know that I can get very overwhelmed and very nervous about a lot of things in my life. And, I sometimes forget that I have the fruit of the Spirit, that I have, because I, have a relationship with Jesus, that I have this ultimate peace. And sometimes it's hard to remember that when things are going kind of crazy and you feel overwhelmed or scared or sad. But I have to remember, and I hope that you all remember, to pray and ask God to comfort you and to show you that peace that you already have. So, did you notice in our story how calm Jesus was when his disciples woke him up? It also sounds like he was a little sad and upset that they didn't trust him. It says that they didn't realize then who he really was. They did not realize that he was the Son of God. But when they saw him calm that storm with just the sound of his voice. They knew then who he was. And so we have to remember to trust Jesus to pull us through anything. Some of those bad times or those sad times that we can lean on Jesus and we can lean on our family and friends, to show us that peace and comfort when we're feeling scared. So let's think about a time when you have been scared and overwhelmed. Did you turn to Jesus in prayer, or did you try to fix the problem yourself? I do that a lot sometimes. I think that I can do it all on my own. And sometimes I need to just sit down and be quiet and listen. And, a lot of times a new path and a better path will open up because I've listened and asked God to show me the right thing to do and to give me a peace about whatever decision gets made. So try to remember this story when you're feeling scared and you're feeling a little overwhelmed, that God has given you this peace. And so to help us remember this, we have got a really cute and fun craft to make. So if you were at church and you grabbed your craft bag, go ahead and pull it out. If you did not get one from church, you can still make this boat. We're making a boat to help us remember that God can calm the storms in our life. So you can find things around your house to make this, but let's grab our bag and get started on our craft. All right, everyone, here is what should be in your craft bag. And if you're at home, you can probably find some materials to use, or ask your parents if you can go and purchase a pool noodle. And we just cut that into a small piece. And this is gonna be our boat. And then you have a piece of foam here that has a drawing. This is our sail. So what you're gonna need to do is cut along the black line here. You can leave these two pieces intact. Those are going to come in handy a little bit later, but go ahead and cut this. And just be careful using your scissors, or have your parents help you with this. So we are going to be making this little sailboat to help remind us that God can help calm the storms in our life. All right. So once you have your sail ready to go, you'll also have a straw. What you're gonna wanna do is kind of cut where this black line is. And again, you can have your parents help you. You just make a little cut there, because our straw is gonna go in between these two holes here. So I'm just kind of bending this a little bit to make it a little easier to cut out. And you can do it different ways, whatever works best for you or your parents if they're helping you. So if you have some markers or stickers, you can decorate your sail. I've given everybody a white sail so that you can decorate it. I am going to write on mine. We're gonna write Jesus calms the storm, to help me remember that when I'm going through a hard time, Jesus can give me peace and calm the storm. And you can decorate both sides of your sail. Be really creative and have fun with it. Again, you can use stickers or just some markers. Then what you're gonna do, once you have your sail cut out and you've decorated it and you've cut your two little holes here, you're gonna start at the bottom and you're gonna stick your straw through it, just like that. And then you're gonna come up to the top. So this is the back side, and you are going to put the straw through the top hole. There we go. And it makes our sail. All right. And then what you're gonna do is you've got your pool noodle, and you're gonna need to kind of use your scissors a little bit with this, have your parents help you, but you're just gonna create a little hole in your pool noodle for your straw. All right, so with your sail, we are going to put it in some water, but one rule with it to make sure that it stays afloat and upright, your sail needs to be going over the big hole here. It evens it out. So if you had it flipped this way, it's just gonna tip right over. So make sure that you have it turned so that the sail is going over the big hole here. And I've got a bucket of water, but you can use this in the bathtub or if you have a pool. And we have a fun little sailboat. I think these are so fun and help us remember that Jesus can calm the storm and give us peace when we are going through a bad storm. Well, friends, I am so glad that you joined us for this video. If you make your boat, please send a picture, post it on Facebook, bring it with you to church even and show me. I would love to see your decorated sailboats that help us remember that Jesus calms the storms in our lives and gives us peace, one of our fruits of the Spirit. So let's end today in prayer as we close our eyes and bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving us the fruit of the Spirit, especially peace. You know, life is hard and rough and scary, and a lot of times it feels like we are going through a bad storm. But with you in our lives, we have peace that gives us that comfort that we know we can get through anything, even if it's challenging. We have you on our side to give us the ultimate peace. I pray that you be with us the rest of this week and you show us how we can use the fruit of the Spirit to love on other people and to show our friends what your love looks like. Thank you so much for bringing us all together today virtually. In your name I pray, amen. Thank you all again for joining us today. I will see you next week on our virtual Sunday school, but know that we are getting very close to being back in person, and I'm so excited to see you all and to give you air high fives and to be able to hang out with you in Sunday school. So have your parents make sure they know to be on the lookout for the start date of that when we get to be back in person at church. I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Bye.